Hello and welcome to Vsu Today, your source for news and information at Virginia State University. I'm your host, Daphne Maxwell Reid. Our first story takes a look at the Reginald F. Lewis College of Business at Virginia State University, where students experience learning by shadowing top corporate executives from major corporations.
Project Shadow was initiated nearly a decade ago.
Good evening. As promised, we're going to convene promptly at 5 o'clock.
Since then, we have sent hundreds of students to all kinds of companies.
I'm going to have you listen on that call with me.
Places like Dominion.
She started to develop that talent, so you got to really focus on that.
SunTrust.
What type of things will he do?
Bank of America.
Many of our clients find themselves in a great place.
Shameen Hotels.
You can see Maymont over there.
Students have an opportunity to interface with leaders in their industry, and they do it in a very hands-on, experiential way.
Good morning, Destiny. How are you doing? As a dean, I make sure that we prepare the students for the locations they are going to. They need to understand the company. You want to ask the question, what kind of internship opportunities are available now? And also, how to be able to portray themselves when they get there.
This is about taking the classroom and getting students outside of traditional academia.
Destiny, welcome to Richmond Raceway. Thanks.
This year we had an opportunity to send students like Destiny Wood to Richmond Raceway.
Feel free to ask me any questions you have.
When I first got to the Richmond Raceway, I was greeted by Jackie Frame, who is the executive assistant to Dennis Bickmeyer. One of the cool things was she put me in a pace car, which I've never been in before, and we went down to the track.
It's quite an orchestrated event.
We first visited the Tour Club, which overlooks the infield of the track and all of the grandstands.
What you're looking at right now is a $30 million Richmond Reimagined project.
And I got to see the entire track and then the whole skyline of downtown Richmond.
We talked a little bit about what it means to populate the infield on a NASCAR race weekend.
We'll have to get you out here on a race weekend.
So after Jackie concluded our tour, we went down to the track, and that's where I was greeted by the president, Dennis Bickmeyer.
Good to see you. Welcome.
He concluded the facility tour that we started together.
The scoreboard that we have here, I think, is one of the best in all of sports.
We love working with Virginia State University, and it's really been a two-way street. We've had some interns here. They've done some project work for us. We've gone down there to teach.
Being a good entrepreneur, you got to be a good negotiator as well.
You know, our next great sports administrators could come right out of Virginia State University. So that's why it's important for us to have a relationship with a university like that that's trying to produce, you know, with a very business approach, the next sports administrators that are, whether they can work in motorsports or Major League Baseball or the NFL, it doesn't matter, but the business of sport continues to grow, and it's a massive, massive business. So I talked about immersing the fans back into the heart of the sport and actually getting them closer than they've ever been before. So what we're walking on is what we call the fan viewing walkway. Well, it was great to have Destiny join us here at Richmond Raceway so she could kind of get immersed in what we do and see it firsthand.
What was cool was that the fact that they allow for their fans to go inside of those garages right there up and close and personal with the drivers and their team.
But even some of the drivers came over and signed autographs. And yeah, so one of the areas that Destiny got to experience, it was our new garage area and our fan viewing walkway. And I'll tell you, when we went back and sat down and designed what we wanted in that infield, we sat down with the mindset of we wanted to immerse our fans right back into the heart of the sport. Well, the heart of the sport is right there in the garage. That's where the teams are working on the cars. That's where the drivers are meeting with their teams and their engineers to strategize about the race. And fans have never had that kind of access.
They broke ground because they're the first to allow for fans to actually come down and interact with the race drivers and their team.
This is the start-finish line. So this is where obviously they drop the green flag right up there.
And then I was able to actually walk onto the track and stand on the start and finish line.
So that's where we crown our winner, and that's where you can see some of the burnouts here on the racetrack.
Standing on there, I was able to see the different skid marks that the previous race drivers were making.
Yeah, I think the ability to walk out on the track is not something that a lot of people get to do.
I cannot believe I'm standing right here in the middle of the Richmond Raceway. This is beautiful.
I think to have that experience and understanding that, the racetrack, again, that's the highlight that's the central part of the racing event. 40 cars screaming around a 3/4 mile racetrack.
And then he actually gave me a ride around the track with the pace car. That's when he showed me how to do the weaving from the yellow line back weaving out towards the outside.
Ideally, you like to be down as close to this yellow line as possible.
He said, don't drive like this because you could see where some of the drivers would actually hit the wall.
But for us on a quiet, morning to be able to walk and talk about, the banking of the racetrack.
The turns are banked about 14 degrees, so
how the drivers drive the racetrack.
one of the things that happens when you see these red and white stripes here is you can get a feel for how fast the race car is going. They're zooming right by these stripes.
You got to see a little bit of that today, just minus the 40 cars screaming around us. Let's take a look around the office. I think the opportunity for Destiny and I to walk around the office and meet some of our team, I think is invaluable because she's hearing it from the folks who are on the front lines.
You look at some of our trophies back here. Toyota is one of our top accounts.
I got to speak with the business development team.
We're the revenue source for the track.
I'm a business major, so that interests me.
And these guys, this is our marketing department.
Hi, Destiny.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It's about a team. There's 37 individuals that go across our org chart, but we're not successful if the team doesn't work. And that's really what we wanted to try and show her today as well. This is our ticketing team.
Then I also got to speak with the ticket sales.
Part of our strategy was to bring it back in-house. So
the one good thing here is it's got to be a very collaborative effort for this to succeed. They're promoting our events.
Me and Mr. Bigmeyer went back to his office and we sat down and he gave me a lot of great advice.
Keep an open mind about what's ahead of you.
When we had to sit down and talk one-on-one, one of the things I really wanted to make sure that I impressed upon Destiny is use this last year of school very wisely.
One thing I always tell students too, while you're in school, what are those opportunities to gain practical experience? So
that's what's going to help build the resume. That's what's going to help when you go out for a job interview, get your resume to the top.
Spending the day with the president was definitely life-changing.
So I like that reaction. So
the fact of how genuine.
Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Mr. Bickmeyer and his entire staff showed me how I want to run my businesses and how the type of environment that I want and culture.
Fans have their side of
Everyone there was so genuinely nice.
Most of our relationships.
And they honestly just wanted the best for their fans and within their company.
Did you know Virginia State University is the best historically black college and university?
Yes.
Yes. Debt capital is much larger than.
With the best business school.
Nice.
Nice.
Best choir.
So great one. Everybody good? Clap, clap.
Wow.
Best female student.
Yes.
Best animation program.
Yes.
In the best state for higher education.
Woohoo!
Virginia State University, a transformative experience.
Why choose Virginia State University?
Because our programs offer practical career opportunities in
engineering,
business,
education, agriculture.
Welcome back. The Upward Bound program at Virginia State University ensures success in education beyond high school for potential first-generation college students from low-income families. New participants selected begin the program in September of each academic year.
Federal officers are armed with a proclamation from President Kennedy urging the governor to end his efforts to prevent 2 Negro students from registering at the university.
The great challenge that we face is to be ready to enter these doors when they open.
5 minutes after the governor leaves, James Hood is the first of his race to become a University of Alabama student. And will turn to the registrar's office by Vivian Malone.
It means that we're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to burn the midnight oil sometime. We're going to have to take advantage of new opportunities.
The Upward Bound program is a pre-college program through the U.S. Department of Education, and it was established in 1965.
So much bitterness built up in a person and resentment when you know that you're being segregated against simply because you're black, and there's nothing that you can do about it. There is something you're trying to do about it.
The purpose of the Upward Bound programs was to provide opportunity for low-income, first-generation students to prepare for post-secondary education. So, as you know, at that time, many African-American students, low-income students, did not have the same opportunities for higher education.
And this administration today, here and now, declares unconditional war on poverty in America.
And the Lyndon B. Johnson presidency and his cabinet at that time established 3 programs: Upward Bound, which is pre-college for high school students; the Educational Talent Search Program, which serves middle school students through high school and GED; and Student Support Services, which services college students, hence the name TRIO. So it started with those 3.
We need to make sure that you all are working on your grades. Now, Ms. Anderson?
Here at Virginia State University, we have the Upward Bound program, Educational Talent Search, and Educational Opportunity Centers, which is another one of the TRIO programs that came along in the late 70s. And that program serves adults 18 years and older.
You all are prepared for college. Okay, so in order to prepare for college, you must have a higher GPA.
Upward Bound is a pre-college program. We have 2 components. We have an academic component.
Juniors, make sure the juniors need to go to SAT prep.
That is where the students come on campus twice a month to get assistance in their classwork for classes they're taking during the academic year.
The midpoint C.
So this room is Mr. Cuffey. That's the ecology.
Mechanical meaning what? It means there's some movement going on.
And then we have a summer component where the students come on campus, stay 5 to 6 weeks to take classes to prepare them for their next academic year.
As I'm prepping the students for SAT, ACT prep, the students that are coming to me from Upward Bound, and remember that Upward Bound is a program where they don't have college parents. Whenever we do that particular question, everyone's like, how was I supposed to get that? So Upward Bound is essential for helping those students that have shown that they have the ability. And what's our target number for Section 2? They have the skill. How many of you now can understand how to get that question correct? They just don't have the resources backing them. Raise your hand if you still need one, if you still need an SAT waiver.
Through the Upward Bound programs, the basic premise is to prepare high school students who are low income and first generation for post-secondary education.
What is most likely to cause cracks in a sidewalk?
So the idea is to enhance their academic knowledge and to assist the public school systems with their educational processes.
Today we're going to be playing Kahoot. This is based on some of the earth science concepts that you've already covered.
But I use videos, I use different programs, one called Kahoot.
All right, which is the following is an example of chemical weathering?
Which is a interactive program where they use their cell phones.
So our students and many students around the country attend Saturday sessions, 2 Saturdays out of each month, and they receive additional instruction in core areas like math, English, science, social studies, foreign language, computer technology. And then we also have guidance workshops that work with students on things like character building, test-taking skills, time management skills, all of the things that make the student a more well-rounded student.
When they come here, it's a level playing ground.
A lot of the students that we deal with come from homes that don't value education. And a lot of the students think that they don't have a way out.
As I gave you the quote about excellence, I now start you the quotes with habits of successful students.
The main teacher that's had most impact on me, his name is Mr. Westbrook.
Help each other out. Team, together everyone achieves more.
He's an English teacher, but I never had a father, for real. My father wasn't there for me.
Why are you in here? Why are you at VSU? You are trying to better yourselves for the future.
So one time during the summer, we did a guy talk, a man session, where all the boys got together in one room and we talked about man things, and then the ladies got in the other room and talked about their stuff.
Anybody ever heard of the acronym for FEAR? False expectations appearing real. A lot of times we are fearful because we can think of all the things that could go wrong, but why not just focus on all the things that could go right?
He was the head of it, so I say he had the most impact on me and taught me how it is to be a man.
It's about them and what they're going to achieve in their lives that's most important.
Before we leave, did everybody check to make sure you got everything?
Sometimes I try to convince myself that I'm not.
Over the course of our Upward Bound year, we try to expose students to various colleges, and we'll do college visits so that the students can actually put their hands on and see a college.
These are all the opportunities we have for you. I don't say major to begin with.
Our most recent college visit was at Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Johnson C. Smith University, and that's what today's presentation and tour is about.
That's a school that we had not really been to before, and it was on the way to our end of summer cultural trip.
And you can see this is our historical Biddle Hall.
It's a wonderful opportunity for students to see a campus, and then they can make an educated decision whether that school is a good fit for them or not.
They do have study rooms.
This could be real.
I am the product of Upward Bound. I was invited to come and speak to the Upward Bound students for Virginia State University. Upward Bound has definitely played an integral role in me being able to achieve my goals.
Every year we have a motivational speaker at the beginning of the academic component, and this year we are so excited that Dr. Cobb Abdullah was our motivational speaker.
You go to college to get a degree. It is a tool to help you to make an impact on the world.
She told us that she was an Upward Bound alumni, which inspired me because she's very successful. She has her doctorate.
It is actually what you do in life to help others, how you try to make society better through your work. That is going to make your life fulfilling.
I learned that you should take advantage of everything that Upward Bound offers you.
These are my grades.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because we're very fortunate to be in this program.
You're going to go to the computer lab.
Because there are students that attend my school and other schools around me that don't have the same opportunities as we do.
How many seniors in the room have already taken English 110?
Like SAT prep.
What else does the question already tell me?
ACT prep.
What's the easiest first 22 questions that we can get correct?
Getting help on the classes that we struggle with.
If you're at the positive direction here, right?
Yeah. Everybody doesn't have those opportunities.
You have to do the work, and I promise you it'll pay off. You have to be consistent, you have to be disciplined. And
so for her to be so successful because of Upward Bound, it shows that we can do the same thing.
When we return, VSU students build a mining robot that is headed for NASA.
We transform lives by sharing knowledge, ideas that flourish, by encouraging creativity with the students that come here. We transform lives by shaping your future through scholarship, by way of study with the finest minds in the world. We transform lives from first-generation students to lifelong learners. We are the best place to be in Virginia to study, work, make an impact on your community. Virginia State University. We are your transformative experience.
Thanks for coming back. Engineering students at Virginia State University have headed to Florida, where they are participating in a NASA robotic competition.
NASA has a competition each year that it extends out to colleges for their space program, because NASA is trying to just explore new planets such as Mars. So they've asked different colleges to submit their ideas for a mining robot. If it wins the mining competition in Florida, our design will be considered for NASA, and then it will get shipped on their next spaceship. And it will collect regolith, which is just Mars sand. The way this process first started off was, I believe it was in materials of engineering, what I had Dr. Garabon.
So this is my reference line.
He said, Virginia State was invited to the NASA competition, and I currently need students available that can do this, can work on this project. And he just so happened to choose me.
This is perfect now. Yeah, the project we have been working for a year is a robot, mining robot for NASA competition. This is giving our students the advantage of putting the theories, math, science, and engineering theories we covered in the classes and bridge it to the real life application. If we make this one like that, we are in a good shape.
My role is I am the leader of our mechanical team. I have the responsibility of making sure that someone is always there each and every day working on the robot.
I actually learned a lot from him. He worked with Dr. Garabon before me, and he brought me along, asked me if I wanted to work with him on this project.
There's going to be 2 holes which are going to drill, and we are going to tap.
My role was the machining process, working with the outside of the robot, so say the arms, the bin, certain things like that, put together through the using the machines in the labs in the engineering department.
And the XY represents like for the different directions that it's going, because like you said, because of the box you're going to be.
So during Dr. Garabon's class, we learned about the different types of dynamics of the parts we will be using, such as aluminum, things like that.
Kevin, let's see what we have. So this is the part, is a 1/4 inch material is right there.
I got more hands-on experience of like knowing the different materials, especially how to distinguish them.
The first thing you should consider is the weight.
If I'm working in the machine lab, I can instantly pick up on something that we learned in class.
5.9 meters per second.
And I can say, okay, I remember this in class. Let me see if I can, bring it into the machine lab, machine process, take it from paper and bring it into actual hands-on.
This is too much. We need only one of them to connect it to the linear actuator, so we are going to cut all of them from there. The last time I checked the schedule, there is 55 universities are coming to the Florida, to the NASA station, and we are going to compete with 55 universities.
How are we going to protect the sensitive part? We are competing together, trying to do our best to have the work done perfectly. I am one of the team of the whole project. I'm mechanical engineering. We have electrical engineering. We have another team, manufacturing engineering. So every individual team work in specific area.
After the testing, our team is going to be a team of 6 students and 2 faculties. We are going to go to the NASA station at Florida, and we are going to put our robot in test.
I actually learned a lot through this. I learned more than what I did outside of the internship.
So this is going to hold it like there, okay? So we are going to have for both sides. So
working with Dr. Garabon has opened up a lot of different doors for me in terms of the machining process in the job field.
It is a little bit tight, but there is going to be a linear actuator here, which is good.
I find it an honor for them to actually give us the opportunity to see our work and take it into consideration.
You have that angle?
Yeah, that's first hole.
Yeah, let me check it.
It
shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way.
So the fact that I'm finally doing what I wanted to do from such a young age, because I've always been interested in robots, and now I finally get the chance to build one, especially for NASA, a space company. My biggest interest is robots.
Virginia State teach me a lot, open me a big door for me to get a nice job.
Our students now, they have knowledge of what NASA doing, what is the different missions of the NASA, and they can be good fitted after graduates to be working for NASA or other companies in this field.
Well, that does it for this edition of VSU Today. I'm your host, Daphne Maxwell Reid. For more information on Virginia State University, go to www.vsu.edu. See you next time.
I am honored to stand here and welcome you as we celebrate the birth of our illustrious institution. On a day like today, we can reflect on who we are as a university. Not just our mere existence, but our status in the community and amongst other colleges and universities. I can only imagine the fight 134 years ago, where an institution was tailor-made for African Americans who were once denied the right to an education, now had the opportunity to be great. In a recent conversation I was part of, an educator looked to convince me of how my HBCU was not a reflection of the real world. I choose to believe otherwise, as history reflects. Here at Virginia State University, we have a melting pot consisting of a diverse culture, intelligence that compete with the best of the best in colleges and universities, a global consciousness that aids in the advancement of society, and it's all because of Alfred W. Harris, who only longed for a place where all may go and drink from the fountain of knowledge. So today, I greet you in the name of stellar academics. I greet you in the name of state-of-the-art facilities. I greet you in the name of nationally recognized faculty. I greet you in the name of innovations changing the landscape of technology. I greet you in the world-renowned performance organizations. I greet you in the name of an exceptional athletics program. I greet you in the name of committed service to our surrounding community. I greet you in the name of a rich and illustrious history. I greet you in the name of those who have come before us. I greet you in the name of those who will carry the torch and continue to pave the way. I greet you in the name of a man with a vision who made today possible. Welcome to the crystallization of a dream. Welcome to Virginia State University.